Good evening. This is the 6 p.m. Good News Hour on our channel 24/7 News. We all know that the trending news nowadays is the spread of the novel coronavirus. The outbreak of COVID-19 is a time that tests our patience, our capabilities and our cooperation. And that is where New Zealand got it right. On 25th March, the government of New Zealand imposed a strict lockdown in the entire nation, and the roads of New Zealand bore a deserted look. And as you can see in the video, this is how the roads of New Zealand look today after normalcy has returned. Shortly, we will be going live with our reporter in New Zealand and find out how New Zealand declared its victory over COVID-19. Was it an uptight lockdown, or did they rely on science and empathy? So, let us go live with our reporter who will be interviewing a corona warrior, Miss Vandana Oberoi, an essential worker in New Zealand.
This is reporter Astha reporting live from Auckland, New Zealand. Now that I am here in New Zealand, I feel so good because I don't have to worry about getting infected with the virus the entire world is worrying about. But of course, with this comes the sense of responsibility that I must follow the rules implemented by the government. Now, to know more about the success story of New Zealand, I'll interview a citizen of New Zealand. And here she is. Ma'am, can you hear me? Okay, we're connected now. So ma'am, my first question is, as a citizen of New Zealand, when did you first realize that coronavirus or COVID-19 is a threat in your country?
Coronavirus being a real threat to our country. Right, as a citizen of New Zealand, or rather all citizens of New Zealand, we realized around middle of March that this was a real threat.
Ma'am, what were the first few and major steps taken by the government of your country to control the spread of this pandemic?
The first few major steps, the main major step that was taken was to create alert levels for the whole country, and that was alert level 1 to 4. Each alert level had a different restriction on it, and we started with alert level 1 probably, and then we fast progressed onto alert level 4, which was completely restricting all movement except essential work all across New Zealand.
And how effective were these steps? Was there ever a lockdown in the country?
There was a lockdown. Certainly there was a complete lockdown at level 4, and it worked.
Did they cause inconvenience to the general public? If yes, then what problems did the public face?
It was a lot of inconvenience, certainly yes, like all around the world. It was the same for us. Even for grocery shopping, we had long queues. Only certain number of people were allowed in the supermarkets. Only certain supermarkets were closed, and there was a lot of restriction of maintaining distances.
When did you realize that your country has become a COVID-free nation?
It was end of May that we realized as a nation that we had eliminated COVID-19, which is coronavirus, and we were really glad about working together.
Ma'am, a lot is being said about the fact that New Zealand has a woman as its Prime Minister and has successfully battled the COVID threat under a woman's leadership. Do people in New Zealand feel that their Prime Minister has been a true leader in these difficult times? Or is she getting undue credit?
Jacinda Ardern being a woman Prime Minister, well, yes, she deserves all the credit she is getting. It is totally well deserved, and she's done a wonderful job of controlling the pandemic.
So, this was our report about the situation of New Zealand, which tells us that whenever a country hits rock bottom, it is the people who bring it back to life. It's time for a break now. Do remember to watch our next show, which talks about how the cases in India may not be decreasing, but the industries, the companies, and even the tribal people there have realized that if they ask themselves what they can do, no one can stop them from making India a self-sufficient country. In these difficult times, don't think of the misery, but the beauty that still remains. Keep watching 24/7 News. Stay tuned.